Yo, good people. It's your homie Herbman, and you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Hey, look, go tell somebody your homie Herbman is on. And if you're new to this platform, welcome. Go ahead and hit that logo right at the bottom of your screen and hit that notification bell so that you never miss what we bring to the table, all right? And remember, it's okay to like and share. That will encourage us to continue to do what we do. All right, so we're talking about industrial foods, all right? Living in this industrial food system and how mass production has really developed a scenario where we are not getting enough nutrition in our bodies, and there may not be enough nutrition in the soil, all right? And so now you have a bunch of people, over 800 million in the world, suffer from malnutrition and food insecurities for a variety of different reasons. One of them being that we have genetically engineered our foods, all right? And what this has caused is a heavy laden of pesticides and chemicals and hormones and antibiotics and all kinds of other stuff, additives and preservatives and, you know, all these different things that we need to sustain our foods over a course of time, but is not necessarily sustaining our health, okay? And we don't know what are the real foods. We don't know. They are not going to reveal to us what's actually in these packages, all right? What's in these canned fruits and vegetables, what's in these foods. They you know, the Food Administration and the chemical industry and the food producers are all cahoosins together to make a buck. They're not necessarily worried about our health. And so in order for us to change this culture, this nutricide, so to speak, of our communities of people, our population, we definitely need to attack this as a culture, as a societal issue. We can't, you know, one person, one individualized group, one, you know, individual cannot move the chains as far as they need to be moved, all right? So we do need to understand that we need to get to some type of sustainable food system and not the industrial food system that we're living in. Again, I give you the main two reasons why. Because you're not enough nutrition in your food and not enough nutrition in the soil. Because of the mass production and how we do what we do, we are just depleting our soil. Okay, so even if you are eating healthy foods right now, you may be accumulating a lot of pesticides, chemicals, hormones, antibiotics in your system. A lot of preservatives and additives and food colorings, you know, may be in your system. All right, a lot of glyphosates may be in your system. Okay, and these things are toxic to the body. They are toxic to the body. So this video is to encourage us to create a new culture when we're talking about being healthy. Healthy has to be a part of the resistance. It can't just be that we're fighting for our civil rights, our women's rights, and not be fighting for our food rights, our right to know what's in our foods, what we are properly ingesting, digesting, the right to know the harmful effects that chemicals and pesticides and hormones and antibiotics and food colorings and all these other different things can have on our bodies. We deserve the right to know. So what they did was they genetically engineered and genetically modified things that they understood the body needed for energy production. Okay, your cells need energy, you need energy ultimately to get you through the day. And our ancestry had utilized certain crops in history for this energy, for the energy that they needed to farm the lands, to be out in rigorous weather for a long period of time, all right? And this was in the essence of yams and cassava and sweet potatoes and things of that nature, right? So you have all of these heavy carbs because that was the power food. That was the energy foods to get you through the day. You had fruits that were also very good at energizing the body, very good at detoxifying the body, very good at helping the body digest the foods that it was intaking, okay? So fruits and vegetables were centerpiece to the energy production of the human body, okay? It was the centerpiece for the energy production. All right. And in those fruits and vegetables, we got to break them all the way down to now what we're talking about is grains and seeds. And so they genetically modified the grains and seeds, all right, to try to give you a little bit, to try to provide food for everybody, so to speak. But in the same slew of things, they gave us stuff that would be very detrimental to our health. And so what the grains that they did was rice, corn, and wheat. Okay. Now you may think that these three grains of seeds are not big, but if you think about what are these things, are some of the foundations of a lot of foods that we eat. Okay. And these have been hybridized. Instead of understanding foods like amaranth, fonio, teff, all right, kamut. All right. Instead of understanding those grains, instead of having accessibility to those grains, instead of our bodies understanding that those are your indigenous grains that will automatically resonate with your body from a physicality standpoint, we don't have as much access to those grains being in the U.S. Now, you can get them because of the advent of the internet, but you need to know about them. So you need to know what are the real grains, because in these real grains are the high proteins, are the high carbohydrates, are the good fats, okay? When we're talking about coconut, when we're talking about red palm seeds and red palm oil, all right? When we're talking about, again, teff, fonio, quinoa, millet, okay, amaranth, all right? These are all high quality grains that will give you the substance that you need. But when you go and start eating rice instead of sorghum, okay, when you go and start eating a lot of these acidic, a lot of these hybridized seeds like maize or corn, okay, or when you go and understand that they've been hybridizing and cloning the wheat for I don't know how long, and that is detrimental to our health. And these things you make flour out of, you make your bread out of. These, again, are the foundations and the basis for a lot of the pastries and baking things that we love to put into our bodies. But if your body cannot properly assimilate or absorb these synthetic solutions to our foods, then you're going to cause yourself more detriment than good. And so sickness and death is big business in the United States of America. Okay, healing you and curing you is no money at all. But keeping you sick and keeping treatments and keeping you in that rat race, all right, is a money scheme. So no one is going to come out and blatantly tell you what you need to be eating and what you need to be understanding and what you need to be learning. But here on this particular show, here on this platform, you can get all of that understanding, get all of that truth. Now, I can't just blast it out because YouTube's going to pull down the video. But at the same time, if you can have a listening ear, you can hear where I'm going with it, and you do the rest of the research. You do what you need to do to get this information in. But understanding one thing, industrialized foods are killing us, absolutely killing us. And not only are they killing us, but they're also depleting our soil. And the chemicals and the pesticides that we use in these particular dynamics also run off into our water supply, and we'll turn around and drink these things as well due to water runoff. And these things that we're not talking about and not understanding. So for the average person, it may seem impossible to be healthy in this day and time. That's why we need to come up with a collaboration, a cultural, a societal movement that we desire to know what we are eating and drinking. And that we're taking on the big food industries, the big chemical industries, the big whoever, the big meat industries, everybody, to understand that we don't want antibiotics, we don't want hormones, we don't want genetically engineered food, we don't want foods heavy laden with pesticides and additives and preservatives and food colorings and all of this. We just want real food, all right? So go tell somebody to go tell somebody about this video. And remember, I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And until next time, peace. Yes, sir.